was one of the most important international cycling events held here recently. It took place in the southwest of the country, and Pat McQuaid describes the action.
The 1996 Credit Union Junior Tour of Ireland starts in Limerick, and the riders in the final preparation signing on. One girl taking the start, Tarja Owens from Bray. All the final preparations ready for this, the most prestigious stage race for junior cyclists in Europe. This year's route sees the start in Limerick and Merchants Quay, the riders assembling here, and throughout the following 8 days takes them through all of the southwest to finish up in Cork. Well, it is the Mayor of Limerick and the Vice President of the Irish League of Credit Unions starting the race there as the riders go out in the neutralised start on the way to Tralee on stage 1, a distance of 65 miles. Riders from Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales and Belgium. A total of 85 riders, and as I said before, just one girl in the field. And they're on their way, stage 1, and immediately, as is a feature of this race always, the attacks coming hot and heavy, and one of the Belgium Stena riders on the attack straight away as the riders go through Adair, still all together. Onwards then through Rathkeil, and all settling down now, watching each other, and again the attacks coming one after the other. These riders, junior cyclists, which is 16 to 18 years of age, tasting their first taste of major stage race riding. 9 stages over 8 days. Out of Rathkeil, our little group is trying to go away now, with John Mannix in it of the Kerry team. Mannix, one of the strong men of the week, rode this race last year and featured very well throughout, and will be hoping to certainly wear that yellow jersey before the week is out. But the bunch, very attentive and not letting anything go really. And dropping down into Abbeyfield for one of the sprints, Ross Blaney of the UCF team, a Northern Ireland cyclist, taking that sprint in a group of some 12 riders who have gone clear. And they're about a minute clear of the main field, heading up to Listowel and then onwards down into Tralee. The wind is very much a factor now in the final run into Tralee, and the break starting to split up a bit. One of the Belgian Stena riders going clear. Barry Tuig of the Ireland Finches team responding. And for Darren Mortimer of the Dublin Credit Union's team, his effort is taking its toll and he starts to get dropped off the back. But at the front, Nicholas Frayne of the Belgian Stena team, Tom Barris of Yorkshire, son of probably one of Britain's best professionals, Sid Barris, Simon Kelly of the Western Telecom Credit Union team, and Barry Tuig still there watching every move. This little group stayed clear all the way to the finish in Tralee, and in a terrific sprint, Joe Chevalier of the Belgium Stena team just edges out Tuig to take the stage. And 2 minutes behind the main field. And so the first yellow jersey of the 1996 Credit Union Junior Tour goes to a foreign visitor, Joe Chevalier of Belgium. Following morning outside the Kerry the Kingdom Museum in Tralee, the officials discussing the stage, and certainly a lot to discuss because one of the features here today is the rain. It's come down hot and heavy, and one of the things the cyclists really don't like is these conditions. But they still have to race, they still have to continue. But as is always the case under conditions like this, crashes have been the feature of the day. This crash, Joe Wakelin here of the Yorkshire team, unfortunately had to be brought to hospital, but thankfully no serious injuries. But between bodies being repaired and bikes being repaired on the move, the ambulance attending to the injured rider, some interested spectators here, and of course the race up front continues. And the yellow jersey, Joe Chevalier, watching every move, particularly the moves of the Ireland Finches team. Chevalier at the front, just behind him Barry Tuig in the green jersey. And onwards towards Castlemaine, a little group of 4 goes clear. Martin Loney of Scotland, Paul O'Callaghan of the Ireland Finches team, Neil Jones of Wales, Neil Jones, the Welsh national junior champion, very strong rider. And heading towards Killarney, this group have a lead of 1.5 minutes on the main field. Paul Helian of the YAMF team there also. coming through very warily around these wet roads. Approaching the finish in Killorglin, Jones goes ahead to take the stage in front of Paul Helian, with Joe Chevalier third and Ross Blaney fourth. Sunshine the following morning from Killorglin into Killarney, a time trial, a 6-mile time trial. Riders riding on their own against the clock, and a terrific performance from the Ireland Finches team here saw them taking 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place on the stage. The stage won by Toby Holmes in a time of 13 minutes 20 seconds. But for this young rider, Barry Tuig, 5th place on the stage was enough to give them the yellow jersey from Joe Chevalier. He beat Chevalier in the time trial by some 23 seconds, and that was enough to take the lead. Chevalier coming through, but not fast enough to hold on to that jersey. So in the afternoon, as we left Killarney on our way to Bantry, Barry Tuig taking the first yellow jersey for the Ireland Finches team. Walgerove Credit Union Tour to Killarney. On the way, once again in brilliant sunshine, probably one of the toughest stages of the race from Killarney to Bantry, with the climb of the Tunnel Road. Immediately on the attack, Greg Imla of Scotland. Barry Tuig at the front. First prima of the day in Kilcarvan, taken by Neil Wallbank of the Yorkshire team. Barry Tuig safely at the front of the bunch, the yellow jersey. And onwards out of Kenmare as they head towards the Tunnel Road, a breakaway group of 6 riders clear, with 3 riders of the Welsh team. A very good performance to get 3 riders up in the leading break. Paul Helian also there of the AMF team, riding very well. Ross Muir of Scotland is there, and Neil Wallbank of the Yorkshire team. On the climb on the foothills of the Tunnel Road, and for these riders, most of them probably the first time they've ever actually climbed a mountain in a race. Most of them would be used to riding week in, week out over hills, but here they're climbing a 6-mile climb, and for them there's a lot of trepidation heading into this mountain. Barry Tuig at the front of the main field, along with Darren Mortimer of the Dublin Credit Unions team, but up at the front, Paul Helian riding very, very strongly, leading this group up. They go through the tunnels towards the top, with a bunch very attentive behind and only some 30 seconds behind. On the descent, the whole thing came together, and as we head through Glengarriff and Ballylickey towards Bantry, John Mannix on the attack, but Barry Tuig watching him very closely. Mannix, a Kerryman, knows these roads locally, and was very strong throughout the week, trying to go clear, but Tuig, realising that Mannix is one of his main dangers, not giving him an inch. Joe Chevalier, likewise, not letting Tuig go very far. So as it came to the sprint, and who's winning the stage? No, it can't be. One of the locals, and again another young local there watching the stage finish, and the real finish here, it's David O'Loughlin of the Ireland Finches team taking the stage in front of Tom Anderson of Yorkshire. Just behind the remnants of the leading breakaway group, O'Callaghan taking the sprint. But Tuig wasn't in that group. He had a crash in the last kilometre and comes in some 30 seconds behind, but because the international rules, because it happened in the last kilometre, he doesn't actually lose the time, so he holds on to his race leader's yellow jersey. The manager of the local Bantry Credit Union presenting the jersey to Barry Tuig. Final preparations the following morning as we leave Bantry. Some skill work here from the Dublin Credit Union's team. Not quite making it though. And the race marshals, the Gardaí and the race marshals, very important to bringing a race like this around country, as Ross Blaney takes the cream in front of Simon Kelly of the Telecomarin Credit Union team. Bunch all together as they're heading towards Macroom. Paul Helian getting some food into him, a very important element in a race like this, and something these riders are still learning about, eating on stage races. Tom Anderson leads the attack up through the pass of Kilmichael, scene of a battle many, many years ago. But the bunch not letting anything go, and it's a big bunch sprint in Macroom, and it's Joe Chevalier, the Belgium Senate team, taking the stage. Definitely the best sprinter in the race, and once his team control everything in the last couple of kilometres, he takes the stage. The gear check. Another element of this race for junior riders is their gears are restricted. They don't have the strength to push big gears, so they're forced to stay onto slightly smaller gears, And of course each day they have a gear check to make sure that everybody is staying within the rules. The Ireland team controlling things at the front now for Tuig, as they're heading from Macroom to Kanturk. When they get to Kanturk, they've got a circuit finish, 3 laps of a 3-mile circuit, and hopefully it should split the field up. The Ireland team controlling things, Paul O'Callaghan there leading out Barry Tuig. Tom Paris just behind. John Mannix once again on the attack, but not going clear. Garda pointing the direction as they go through Atmore. Dara Mortimer from Paul Helian. Once again heading towards Kanturk is that man again, John Mannix. Trying to go clear, but being watched very closely. Joe Chevalier now realising the danger onto him. Barry Tuig and Paul O'Callaghan also there. Mannix looking behind, realising, no, I'm not going to get away this time. And as they arrive in Kanturk onto the circuit, bunches all together. Big crowd in Kanturk, very strong cycling area Kanturk, very, very strong local cycling team. Paul O'Shaughnessy of the Kerry team leads them around. And as they come through with 1 lap to go, it's all together. David O'Loughlin of the Ireland Finches team leading them through. And in the sprint again, it's that man Joe Chevalier of the Belgium Stena team taking his 3rd stage win. Terrific performance here for the bunch. Whilst we thought they might split up on the circuit, they stayed together. Very good control by the Belgian team. And Barry Tuig once again takes the yellow jersey. A big crowd greets him in Kanturk. Stage 6 from Kanturk to Dungarvan, the longest stage of the race, a distance of 75 miles. And also with one of the biggest climbs in the race, the climb of the V. Most of these riders would have seen this climb on videos of the Nissan Classic, which went over it many times. And now they're going to get their own taste of what it's like for themselves. The early part of the stage, all the riders staying together, nobody really wanting to have a go at a breakaway with so long of a distance to travel, 75 miles. Coming through Mallow, first prime of the day, and Barry Tuig leads Paul O'Callaghan. O'Callaghan went on to take the prime in Mallow, and then the riders headed towards Ballyporeen, Clogheen. Little group trying to go clear here. Martin Loney of the Scottish team, David McQuaid of the Dublin Credit Unions team. And on through Mitchelstown and still all together. From Greg Imla, Barry Tuig always at the front, Joe Chevalier always in close attendance as well. And onwards towards Clogheen, and Martin Loney, wearing the white jersey of the top climber in the race, goes clear. Loney knowing that the V climb is coming up and he wants to try and get more points. Here he is on the climb of the V, a minute clear of the main field. But the wind is a big factor, and it's very, very strong headwind on the climb. But he's to hold out, and he takes the prime, but only just in front of this bunch. They caught him just as they got to the top. All the main men in the race all up at the front of the bunch. And down into Cappoquin now, a little group has gone clear. David McQuaid, Neil Wallbank and Sean Farrell. They've gained a lead of a minute on the main field as they're heading towards Dungarvan. Sean McCarthy leading the bunch around. And Martin Loney, the climber, now safely back in the field. Onwards towards Dungarvan, this little trio, David McQuaid of Dublin Credit Unions team, Neil Wallbank, number 41 of Yorkshire, and number 77, Sean Farrell of Kilcullen. The three of them worked well together to stay clear of a chasing